What's in your game room?
Hi, and welcome to episode 4 of What's in Your Game Room. Today we're going to showcase Matthew Fox, who's the co-owner of Super 1-Up Games located in Hamilton, Ontario. How you doing today, buddy?
Doing very well, yourself?
I'm okay.
Good to see you.
Awesome. So let's get right to the questions.
Okay, let's do this.
Why did you get into collecting?
Honestly, it just kind of happened. I was at my microplay game store, this is years ago, back in the, I guess, late 90s, and I saw a copy of, Wolfenstein 3D for the Atari Jaguar. Saw that game and picked it up, and ever since then I just kind of pieced it together. Got the systems, got the games, and that was the first game.
So what do you mostly collect now?
I'm almost done Super Nintendo, so right now it's Genesis, Sega CD primarily right now.
Do you have any complete collections?
Yes, I now have, starting with in order, NES, then it was Dreamcast N64, Turbografx 16, and almost Virtual Boy. I think I'm one away from complete collection of that.
That's a pretty impressive collection.
Thank you. Yeah, Sega 32X was one of the easier ones. I started that early, and it was cardboard, which was a pain in the ass. But yeah, it's getting up there. Like, and Super Nintendo is not far away either. I think I'm about 60 games away now. So
that's like almost an impossible feat because Super Nintendo has like 700 some odd games, I believe.
Yes, it's up there, and it's getting expensive too. So
almost equivalent to NES.
In price, yeah. NES is harder because it's even a little bit older, but yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Like, honestly, it's not fun looking for them. It's always the same ones over and over again, and people don't know what they have. So you have to either find them at garage sales, friends, connections. It's becoming tough. And then there's always the Blockbuster exclusive ones and ones that people want to hold on to: the Metroids, the Zeldas, the Castlevanias, the Contras and stuff. Yeah.
So we've been to a lot of game rooms, and I always see the typical NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, N64, like, the regular stuff that people collect.
Yeah.
You have Turbografx 16.
Yes.
Like you mentioned before, it's a complete collection, but why did you collect Turbografx?
Honestly, it was jealousy. Sheer jealousy.
Really?
Yeah.
Odd. Carry on.
It wasn't like over, like, I have this collection, like, look what I have. My cousin had Turbografx 16.
Okay.
And he was this little rich bastard. Oh, actually, he was rich through attrition, but his grandparents were loaded. They had this newspaper company, and they used to, like, they lived in Florida and Hawaii and this and that, and they would just send him, like, Turbografx games, like, here's Christmas, here's 10 games. I'm like, you cocksucker. He would just, like, crack this, the plastic, open up the cardboard, throw it in the garbage. Now, can you imagine? Yeah, time travel. Like, either save my father from the fire or like grab those Turbografx games that he would have had. So, but long story short, he had these beautiful Turbografx games, and like I had NES at the time, so it was like Keith Courage. You put it in, like, oh my god, 16-bit graphics and this and that, and I just didn't have that experience. Like, I didn't have that library, that that system. And then I saw it one day. It was like Value Village. I think it was like $10 a system, with Keith Courage. I'm like, okay, and then local shops had Turbografx games everywhere. You just had to find them, like, because they kind of like they merged them with CDs. So like Wham's Greatest Hits, great CD by the way. And then you would have like like Turbografx 16, Bonk 3. So I picked up Bonk 3 for, like, as I said, $5, and it was just finding it. So it was my Dick Smack cousin that really got me into the Turbografx. Thank you, Lee.
Now, Matt, I've seen your collection, and you have a lot of really cool games. But I want to know, what are the three most prized possessions in your collection right now?
That's tough. Well, prize,
like, also, value or sentimental.
Prize equals price tag in some cases. Sega 32X. I got 2 of them on the same umbrella: Spider-Man box manual, and then World Series Baseball. And then for the Turbografx 16 of Magical Chase, that was a tough one. And then
it's like the holy grail of Turbografx.
It is. And it's becoming like the holy grail for almost all systems. Like, the price tag's ridiculous. It's getting up there around the stadium events kind of level, which is it's stupid witch on a broom, ridiculous. And the third thing was what's the last thing in my collection I liked a lot was
I think it was an NES game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Flintstones, Dinosaur Peak. Again, I drove down to Pittsburgh to get that. Great guy, personal sale under eBay's radar, and that was probably, my wife drove down with me in the States. Crazy, yeah. It saved on a lot of taxes and import charges and all that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
Now, as a game hunter myself, I love hearing some stories where you come across good scores, whether it's from, local collectors, eBay, or just Kijiji. Do you have any really good deals that you've come across, like, during the years you're collecting?
bonk. Actually, all my Turbografx games, I got like 80, maybe 70% of them for about $5 a game.
Wow, that's a steal.
Yeah, but I got into it in like the late 90s, like early 2000s, where nobody knew, nobody cared. Dreamcast, when I went to New York, I picked up like at least a third of that collection for about $5 a game. Mint condition, complete. I just didn't give a shit. They just gave it out, right? Like it was just. But in general, now, no. Like Super Nintendo, you're paying. Like Sega Genesis, you're paying. People know, people are aware. Even the common stuff's getting up there. Yeah.
Now, I can see you're very serious into collecting, but you also have a pretty badass game room.
Yeah,
there's a section that we're in right now.
Yeah.
As we can see, there's a main cave, and there's a whole bunch of other cool things. Explain this room to you and why did you create it?
Okay, so what happened was we're always going online, playing with friends, and you time out, couldn't get a connection, this and that. So we said, why don't we just get together? It's always cold in the basement. Let's get the money, insulate it properly, get it tiled, and do 4 sound chairs, 4 Xbox 360s, 4 monitors on telescopic, and then we can all just meet up on Friday nights, play Halo, Call of Duty, whatever. And the best part is, say you are playing side by side, you croak. If you're online, it's like you die, communication is off, right?
Yep.
Now it's like, okay, I died in this area here, be careful, throw grenades in, whatever. You have some strategy to it.
Also, can you explain what you did with this main cave behind you?
Sure. It's basically MAME was a mainstream arcade machine emulation. It's this controller here came in a child-sized coffin about 10 years ago from New Jersey, and what it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 controllers, 1 spinner, 1 trackball, and this can do everything. Tank games with buttons on the top, one just dedicated for Pac-Man. It does everything, so this can emulate anything, new, old.
So I'm guessing this is the ultimate main machine, as opposed to any other ones you've seen, like the X Arcade and stuff like that.
It is truly, like, it was called Slick Stick. They don't make them anymore. That place went under, unfortunately. But the wiring on this thing, it's a cat's breakfast. Like, it is so complex. Like, if a button stops working physically, fuck. Like, it's just brutal. It's just wires everywhere, like hundreds of wires. And the more controllers you add, the more buttons you add, the more wires. But like somebody spilled beer in the trackball, so I have to take that apart. It's a pain in the ass. It's the ultimate. The software's out of date. The computer's kind of old, but it runs the retro just perfect, which is what,
So we can see it behind. It's still running great. So where do you usually collect your games?
And I generally try to stick to local. Like, I always try to help your brother out, kind of thing. So my shop, in general, like Kitchener area is always good. Swap meets, Pete Diak does the VGCC, very, very popular. There's Letterbox Video in Hamilton. There's Entertainment Overload in Hamilton. There's a few. There's Big B Comics. They're all competition and one-up games, but we got it down to a science, so I have to have ourselves in the back. But I went to the States with my wife. Went to a place called right here, Blue Dragon, and they were phenomenal. Like, they had everything you could think of, anything, Philips CDI to the current gen. For
you got a great score with that for the price you paid.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, Matt, this was awesome talking to you. I love hearing your stories. I like seeing your collection, and I can probably live here for the next 5 years. Probably eat some of the Cheetos you left in the back.
That's right.
But thanks again for everything. I appreciate your time, and we're going to cheers and chug it out.
Cheers.
Yeah, boy.
If you like what you just saw, please subscribe, like, and comment. And don't forget to check out our other videos.